My own sister shoved me into the basement of our childhood home on the morning of my wedding and locked the door behind her. Stay down here, Lauren. Trust me, you don't want to see what's coming. She hissed through the crack before the deadbolt clicked. My heart slammed against my ribs so hard I thought it might crack them. I was in my wedding dress, ivory lace, the one I'd saved for 2 years to buy, sitting on cold concrete, veil tangled around my shoulders, mascara already stinging my eyes. What the hell had just happened? Before I spill the rest, thank you for being here with me. Drop a comment and tell me where you're tuning in from right now. I love picturing your world while I share mine. And if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button if you genuinely like the content. That tiny click keeps stories like this alive for women who need them. Okay, deep breath. Now let me tell you what really happened. 2 months ago, I still believed my big sister, Becky, to everyone who's known us since we were kids, was my ride or die. We grew up in a little split-level house on the east side of Madison, Wisconsin. Same street, same maple tree we used to climb. Same parents who worked double shifts so we could have dance lessons and braces. Becky was 5 years older, always the golden child. Straight A's, prom queen, first one to college on a full ride. I was the quieter one, the one who stayed home to help mom after dad's heart attack, who took the community college route, who ended up with student loans that still make my stomach twist every time. I opened the mail. I never minded. Really, Becky was supposed to be the star. I was happy being the steady one. When she moved to Chicago after college and landed that marketing job, I cheered the loudest. When she met the perfect guy and got engaged, I planned half her bachelorette. And when my fiancé Ethan proposed last spring in Olbrich Gardens with the tulips in full bloom, Becky cried harder than I did. She said she'd make sure my day was perfect. She promised. So when she insisted I get ready at our old house instead of the venue hotel, said it would be sentimental, that she wanted to do my hair like old times. I didn't think twice. Ethan was getting ready with his brothers downtown. My girls were meeting me there later. It was just supposed to be me and Becky, sipping mimosas, laughing about how far we'd come. I arrived at 8:30 a.m. in yoga pants and a hoodie, dress bag over my shoulder. Becky met me at the door wearing this weird half smile. Come in, she said, too fast. She took my bag, led me straight to the basement stairs. I've got everything set up down here. Better light, bigger mirror. You'll see. I followed her down. The basement still smelled like Dad's old woodworking projects and Mom's lavender candles. But the big mirror from the upstairs hall was propped against the wall. And there was a folding chair and my makeup bag already open. Felt thoughtful. Then she turned, pushed me hard into the center of the room and slammed the door. I banged on it. Becky. What the hell? My voice echoed off the concrete. Stay quiet, Lauren, she called back. This is for your own good. Footsteps retreated. Then silence. I tried the knob locked. I pounded again. Nothing. Panic clawed up my throat. My phone was upstairs in my purse. No service down here anyway. The concrete walls killed the signal. I paced, bare feet cold, heart racing. Was this some twisted prank? A surprise? But the way she'd shoved me, that wasn't playful. That was fear. Or anger. Or both. Minutes dragged. Maybe 10. Maybe 20. Then I heard voices upstairs, muffled, but clear enough through the old floor vents Dad never sealed properly. First, Becky. Tense. He's on his way. You sure the paperwork is ready? A man's voice, low, unfamiliar. Signed, notarized, dated yesterday. Once you transfer the title, the lien gets cleared. No more calls from the bank. No more threats. My blood turned to ice. Title, lien. Becky had never mentioned money trouble. She always acted like Chicago life was golden ice, apartment in Lincoln Park, designer bags, vacations to Cabrillo. Another voice, sharper, female. And the insurance policy? You're still the beneficiary? Becky laughed, but it sounded brittle. Of course. Lauren never changed it after Mom died. She's too sentimental. Said it was for emergencies? Well, this is an emergency. My knees buckled. I sank against the wall, veil catching on a rough nail. The life insurance policy. Mom left us $250,000 split between her two girls. I'd kept Becky as the beneficiary on my half because she was Becky, my big sister, the one who always knew what to do. I never thought to change it. Why would I? The man again. And the house? She signs today, we'll flip it fast. Madison market's hot. We clear the second mortgage, pay off your credit cards, and disappear before anyone asks questions. Disappear. I pressed my hand over my mouth to keep from crying out. They were talking about me, about stealing my wedding day to force me to sign over the house. The house. Mom left us in trust. The house I'd been slowly fixing up so Ethan and I could start our life here instead of renting in Middleton. Becky's voice dropped. She'll sign. She's soft. Always has been. I'll tell her. It's the only way to save the day, say. Ethan's family is threatening to pull funding if we don't close on the house first. She'll cry, but she'll sign. She always does what I want. The other woman snorted. You sure she won't fight back? She's never fought me in her life, Becky said. Not once. I sat there in the dark, wedding dress pooling around me like spilled milk, listening to my sister lay out exactly how she planned to ruin me. The woman I'd trusted my whole life. One who braided my hair before. School pictures. Who held me when Mom died. Who promised she'd always protect me. Was planning to trap me. Scare me and bleed me dry. But here's the part that really broke me. She sounded relieved. Like getting rid of me was finally going to fix everything for her. I wiped my face with shaking hands. Mascara smeared across my knuckles. I couldn't scream, couldn't call anyone, but I could listen, and I could think. Upstairs, the doorbell rang. Becky's heels clicked across the hardwood. That's him. Stay down here. Don't let her hear you. More footsteps. A man's voice, smooth, confident. Rebecca, you look beautiful. Everything set? Almost, she said. She's downstairs. Locked in. She thinks it's a surprise. He laughed. Good. Let's get the papers ready. Groom's family just texted. They're running late. We've got time. Groom's family. Ethan. My stomach lurched. Did Ethan know? Was he part of this? No, no way. Ethan proposed with his grandmother's ring. He cried when I said yes. He wouldn't. But doubt crept in like damp cold. The late night calls, he said, were work. The way he sometimes stared at his phone like it was burning him. The way he'd ask casually how much equity was left in the house. I squeezed my eyes shut. Breathe, Lauren. Think. Then I heard something else. A soft creak from the far corner of the basement, the old coal chute window. Dad boarded up years ago. One board had rotted loose. I'd noticed it last Christmas when I came to grab decorations. I crawled over, careful not to rustle the dress. Pushed. The board gave an inch. Fresh air hit my face. Cool, sharp, smelling like cut grass in spring. I pushed harder. Another inch. Enough to see daylight, and enough to hear tires crunching on the driveway. A car door slammed. Then a voice I knew better than my own. Rebecca? Lauren? You guys here? Ethan. My heart leaped, then sank. Was he here to save me, or to help them? I froze, listening, praying I was wrong about everything. But what came next made my blood run cold. Becky's voice floated down, sweet as honey. Hey, babe! Come in. We've got a little surprise for Lauren. Babe? My fiancé has called my sister Babe. And then he laughed, the same warm laugh he used when he kissed me goodnight. I pressed my forehead to the cold concrete and felt something inside me finally snap. This wasn't just betrayal. This was annihilation. And I was done staying quiet. I stayed crouched by that rotting coal chute board, barely breathing, listening as Ethan's shoes hit the foyer floor upstairs. His voice, warm, familiar, the one that used to whisper, I love you, against my neck sounded different now, casual, almost excited. Becky, where's my beautiful bride? He called. My sister laughed, that light, tinkly laugh she used when she was winning, downstairs getting the full princess treatment. Come on, let's go over the papers first. She'll be up soon. Footsteps moved toward the kitchen. Drawers opened. Papers rustled. I pressed my ear closer to the vent. Ethan's tone dropped. You're sure she won't suspect anything? The prenup clause is buried in the third addendum once she signs the house transfer. Half the equity becomes community property. My lawyer says it's airtight. Becky snorted. Lauren doesn't read fine print. She trusts me. She trusts you. That's why this works. My fiancé, my future husband, chuckled. God, you're brilliant. When this is done, we split the insurance payout. Flip the house, pay off your debts, and disappear to that beach condo in Costa Rica you keep talking about. No more student loans, no more collection calls. Just us. Just us. The words punched through my chest harder than Becky's shove. Ethan wasn't just in on it. He was the architect. I thought of every late night text he said was from work. Every time he encouraged me to let Becky handle the wedding finances, because she was so good at this stuff. Every time he kissed my forehead and said, "You're too good for this world, Lauren. Let me protect you." He wasn't protecting me. He was playing me. Tears burned hot tracks down my cheeks, but I wiped them away fast. Crying wouldn't help. Not now. I looked at the loose board again. If I could pry it open wider, maybe squeeze through, I could get to the backyard. Flag down a neighbor. Call the police. But the dress, yards of lace and tulle, it would catch, rip, slow me down. And if they heard me, upstairs, Becky's voice sharpened. Wait, she's been quiet too long. I should check on her. Panic spiked. I scrambled back, heart hammering. The folding chair scraped as I stood. I grabbed the nearest thing, rusty old, level, from Dad's toolbox, and held it like a weapon. Not much, but better than nothing. The basement door creaked open. Light spilled down the stairs. "Lauren?" Becky called, sweet as syrup. "You okay down there, sis?" I stayed silent. Footsteps descended, slow, deliberate. Becky appeared at the bottom, still in her silk robe, hair perfect, holding my phone in one hand like a trophy. "Found this upstairs," she said, waving it. "Thought you might want to call your girls. Tell them you're running a little late." She smiled. The same smile she gave me when she borrowed my college savings to cover her sorority. The same smile when she convinced Mom the dent in the car was my fault. I gripped the level tighter. "Open the door, Becky. Let me out." She tilted her head. "Not yet. Ethan and I need you to sign a few things first. It's easier this way. No drama, no yelling. Just sisters helping each other." "Helping each other?" My voice cracked. "You're stealing my house. My insurance. My life." Her smile faltered. Just a flicker, then hardened. "You always had it easy, Lauren. Quiet little life, no big dreams, no big debts. Mom left you the house because she knew you'd never leave Madison. I was supposed to get the bigger share. I earned it. I'm the one who made something of myself." "You made debt," I said. "You made lies." She stepped closer. "And you made it easy to take what's mine. Sign the papers, Lauren. Ethan's waiting. We'll let you go to the church late, sure, but still the bride. You can have your little day. Just pour." I stared at her, really looked. The sister I'd idolized my whole life looked smaller somehow. Tired, desperate. And for the first time, I felt something shift inside me. Not anger, not even hurt. Pity, but mostly clarity. "No," I said quietly. Becky blinked. "What?" I said no. She laughed, sharp, nervous. "You don't get to say no? You're locked in my basement in a wedding dress. You think you're gonna fight me?" I lifted the level. "I think you're going to open that door, or I'm gonna scream until every neighbor on this street calls 911. You really want cops showing up while your fiancé is sitting upstairs with forged documents?" Her eyes narrowed. "You wouldn't. Try me." For a long second, we just stared at each other. Sisters, blood, 28. Years of shared secrets and shared pain. Then she lunged. I swung the level, awkward, panicked, but it connected with her forearm. She yelped, stumbled back. I charged past her up the stairs, heart in my throat. "Ethan!" She screamed behind me. "She's coming." I burst into the kitchen. Ethan stood at the island, papers spread out, pen in hand. His face went slack when he saw me disheveled. Mascara streaked, levels still clutched like a club. "Lauren, don't," I snapped. My voice sounded foreign, stronger. I grabbed my phone from the counter where Becky had left it. dialed 911 with shaking fingers. Madison Police, what's your emergency? My sister and my fiancé locked me in the basement. They're trying to force me to sign over my house and insurance. I'm at 1427 Maplewood Drive. Send someone now. Ethan lunged for the phone. I dodged, ran to the front door. Becky flew up the stairs behind me. Hang up, Lauren, hang up. I yanked the door open. Sunlight hit me like a slap. Neighbors were already outside, Mrs. Delgado watering her roses. The Jensens walking their dog. They froze when they saw me in my wedding dress, barefoot, wild-eyed. Help, I yelled. Call the police. Sirens wailed in the distance faster than I expected. Someone must have called before me. Ethan appeared in the doorway. Hands up. Lauren, baby, this is a misunderstanding. Shut up, I said. My voice didn't shake anymore. Becky tried to push past him. She's hysterical. Wedding stress. You know how she gets. Mrs. Delgado stepped forward, phone already out. I recorded that, Rebecca. The whole thing. Police cars screeched around the corner. 2 officers jumped out, hands on holsters. Gurns where we can see them. Ethan raised his. Becky froze. I dropped the level. It clattered on the porch. One officer approached me gently. Ma'am, are you hurt? No, I said, but my sister and my fiancé just tried to defraud me. The papers are on the kitchen island. Marriage certificate, house title transfer, insurance beneficiary forms. All forged or coerced. The second officer cuffed Ethan first. He didn't resist. Just stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Becky started crying big, dramatic sobs. She's lying. She's always been jealous of me. The officer didn't even glance at her. Ma'am, we'll sort it out at the station. You're under arrest for false imprisonment, attempted fraud, and conspiracy to commit forgery. They cuffed her too. She screamed my name as they led her to the car. Lauren, you can't do this. We're family. I watched them put her in the back seat. Watched Ethan duck his head into the second cruiser. Then I turned away. Mrs. Delgado wrapped a blanket around my shoulders. Come inside, honey. You're shaking. I let her lead me next door. Sat on her couch in my ruined dress while she made tea and called my bridesmaids. Called my cousin Jenna, who lived 10 minutes away. Called the venue to tell them the wedding was off. Hours later, after statements, after photos of the basement door lock, after the detective told me they'd found texts between Becky and Ethan going back 8 months, planning this since before the proposal lie. Finally let myself cry. Not for Ethan? Not even for Becky. For the sister I thought I had. For the life I almost lost. 3 months later, things looked different. I sold the house. Too many ghosts. Bought a small condo near Lake Monona. Nothing fancy but mine. No mortgage. No liens. Just me. The insurance money? I changed the beneficiary to a women's shelter in Madison that helps with financial abuse and domestic fraud cases. Feels right. Ethan's facing felony charges, fraud, conspiracy, false imprisonment. Becky too. They'll probably take pleas. I don't care if they do time or not. I just want them gone from my life. I started going to a support group for women rebuilding after betrayal. Met some incredible people there. One of them, sir, runs a local chapter of Bumble BFF. She dragged me to coffee, meets, yoga classes, book clubs. For the first time in years, I have friends who aren't tied to my sister or my ex. And yeah, I'm dating again. Slowly, very slowly. A guy named Mateo from the group. He's a single dad. Works in IT, makes me laugh until my sides hurt. No rush, no big gestures. Just coffee. Walks by the lake. Honesty. I learned something hard but true. Family isn't blood. It's who shows up when the basement door is locked. Who believes you when the story sounds insane? Who helps you climb out? Becky was never my protector. She was my shadow, always bigger, always louder, always taking. I let her because I thought that's what love looked like. But real love doesn't lock you in the dark. It hands you the key. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is turn it yourself. So if you're listening and you've ever felt small next to someone who's supposed to love you, if you've ever ignored that knot in your stomach because she's family, trust it. Trust yourself. Boundaries aren't mean, they're survival. And sometimes the sweetest karma isn't revenge. It's waking up free. Thank you for staying with me through this whole messy, beautiful truth. If it hit home, drop a comment. Have you ever had to walk away from someone you love to save yourself? I read every single one. Hit subscribe if you want more stories that remind you you're stronger than you think. And remember, one painful truth is always better than a lifetime of pretty lies. I'll see you in the next one. Love, Lauren.